If you want to charge more than 20,000 euros for your coaching, then you need to stop playing small and you need to solve bigger problems. So in today's episode, we're going to make sure that you're going to be able to deliver way better results to your clients, that they are going to be able to pay you so much more, and that you're going to be able to make a tremendous difference for the people that you choose to work with. And what we're going to talk about today is making sure that we break out your avatar.
Yeah. And before we do that, let's get personal. I'm so happy that we like to do stuff together. We have shared interest, and I think it's so much fun. I'm really valuing that we spent time working together, but we also spent 99% of our free time together because we like doing the same things, which means that in the summer, we play a lot of golf. We like playing golf, both of us, and that's what we do. We spend a lot of time on the golf course. And we just spoke about a couple of weeks ago that we need to do something in the winter because we're not getting enough exercise. And we decided that we're going to start playing tennis. So we just started, last week, we started on tennis training. And I'm sore.
Yeah, and I love it. And I got to express my love to you for your birthday, buy you a new tennis racket. It's so important to design the life that we really want to live and how to combine it. And yes, we are spending a lot of time together, 99% of time in work. We're spending it together. It's a privilege to be able to have and share a life on so many different levels. I'm beyond grateful for that. Absolutely.
This episode is for you who always feel like you're attracting people who have no money, who don't want to buy, or who's not committed to the process. Since coaches are people who want to help other people, a lot of people, when they are choosing who to work with, they are choosing to work with people who needs help the most.
Yeah.
Who's the most broken person I can fix? They want to be the savior. And being a savior is not going to help anyone. Being a savior automatically make you look for the person who's the weakest or the person who needs the most help. You're looking for the one who's in the biggest problems.
It also, at the first glance, that might sound like a really good idea because you can see a lot of demand.
Yeah.
But the problem is demand isn't always a good thing, especially if it's a very broad demand. And if we're talking about, let's say, because here's a personal belief that I have. People who are homeless and are struggling, they deserve a home and they deserve another lifestyle. Am I going to be the coach that helps homeless people? No. They will never be able to afford my coaching. So I first need to realize that, okay, I need to take care of me before I can take care of anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing when it comes to business. So just because you see that there is a person in need of help doesn't mean that you should help them.
No.
It means that you could help them. And if you have a big passion, I mean, we have a big passion to help kids all over the world. And we've donated hundreds and hundreds of thousands of euros in the last couple of years to help kids. And we love that. But if we based our coaching business that was the main part of the core business, the kids can't pay. That's why we give them money.
Yeah.
Because they literally have none. If you have a huge mission in your life to help a certain individual or a certain group of people, then do that. Go for it. Let it fuel you. But let's make sure that you first of all target a very specific problem that is, number one, solvable, that you have congruency within, that is also driving you, that you like the kind of problems that comes with solving that problem, but also that they have freaking purchasing power.
Yeah.
There is some bank behind the people who has this problem.
Yeah, so it's not enough to see who needs help. You also need to see who needs help but can actually pay for it, who can afford it, who has the purchasing power. And then another thing I think that also keep coaches attracting the wrong people is that they are not daring to give a bold promise.
Yeah.
They're not daring to help with something huge. So they're trying to avoid giving guarantees, avoid giving taking on too much. And it comes from, I understand it, because it comes from being uncertain about yourself. What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't deliver? What if they will not be happy? What if I'm not living up to...
Yeah, that would be one fear. The other one is imposter syndrome, that they genuinely believe that who am I to say this bold thing? It comes from the same place, which is fear. Mm. In the beginning, when taking on a bold promise, the first action shouldn't be to shake the fear.
Yeah.
It should be to build bravery or be courageous enough to act in spite of fear. And then do it because it's important. I can't believe that Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, because he felt that this is going to be an easy dream to create. It was the start of the revolution that helped people in America. We need to dare to be bold.
Yeah.
I understand that that's scary. but being scared isn't a problem.
Yeah. If you want to charge, you also need to solve something that is a big problem.
Yeah.
And let me give you an example of where this goes really wrong is, hey, I help Avatar get clarity.
Yeah.
How much are people going to pay to get clarity?
Yeah.
People don't pay for clarity. They pay for solving the problem. The clarity is what you do in the first meeting.
Yeah, the clarity is what helps them understand that this is what I really need.
Yeah, that's marketing.
Yeah.
That's your marketing or your first meeting. That's not what you sell. No. You sell the result to it. So you need to dare to sell outcomes, real outcomes, real results. And another thing, be specific about what is a specific thing you do. Because again, too many are trying to not be specific enough because they're afraid. I have a limiting belief that if I'm being specific, I'm losing out. But what you do by not being specific is that we don't understand the value you're actually providing. It makes it really hard to see. You have the right niche, you have the right avatar, or not the right avatar, but you have the right outcome that you solve, the right solution, the right everything. But there's one thing that makes the absolute biggest difference to stop attracting the wrong people, the broke people, and the people who don't really want to make things happening. And can you share that?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's look at it as 4-step thingy where you need to decide to what level am I going to speak? What level are the people that I'm going to speak to? Where are they on this ladder? Because you can start talking to people at the bottom.
Because a part of niching is who you speak to. And I believe most people who speak about niching, they're looking into, am I niching to what? This person, women 40 plus or school teachers. So they're looking this direction in niching. One thing is niching, but now we're adding another layer called avatar. Yeah. Who specific is the avatar? So you can talk to school teachers, but the avatar can look different. And that's the ladder you're talking about.
Let's say that you help engineers. Yeah. You can help engineers that are in school, that have graduated, that have been an engineer for 30 years and wants to start their own business. Or you could speak to how to retire as an engineer. So very different stages in life. Here we're starting to break out avatars. And if we were to do our own niche, which is we help coaches, we have people at the bottom. And where we can argue that the people who are at the bottom are people who are brand new, doesn't know how to start their business, whatever it is, we can define it as people at the bottom.
I would even add to that they are people doing it because they need to make money. So they're in, I'm broke, I don't have any money, but I need to make money on something, and coaching seems like a great idea.
Everyone is doing coaching.
Yeah,
so
I should probably do that.
I should do that as well.
Yeah.
We can define the bottom, the people at the very lowest level. And for most people, the bottom should absolutely not be the people that you're targeting for your business, because you're going to struggle a lot with people not being able to pay. We don't want to diss these people. It's not about it. We can't afford to help them because we don't have the assets to do so, because they can't pay. So we need to look further, which means that we can look for people who are a little bit in the slipping area. They are doing well, but there is something that keeps them from the next stage, which is stable. Let's discuss stable. When I define stable coaches, it's all of those coaches who make 5,000 euros a month or more. They've got stuff figured out. And the people who are then slipping are then people who have made 5,000 euros, but can't do it again and again. Bottom, we have slipping, we have stable, and then at the top, we have the leaders of the industry. When we're looking at the leaders of the industry within our niche, which are coaches, they're doing like 84,000 euros a month, which is 1 million euros a year and above. That's already within the top 1% of coaches. The stable level could be people who are stable on a plateau, which is I've reached 30,000 euros and I'm stable at 30,000 euros. It seems like I can't get further. So then you need to look into, okay, what's the common plateau that my avatar is on? Where would I be happy to act and to help and to make a real impact?
Yeah.
And one more thing, let's say that you speak to stable people, you are going to get all the slipping people and you're going to get all the people at the bottom as well. Because the people at the bottom and the people who are slipping, they are aspiring, which means that they're looking towards whatever it is that they want to achieve. And it's super important to understand that all human beings are aspiring. They're looking towards where is the result and the outcome that I want long term, which means that they're going to follow you. And they're going to be around you and they're going to want to buy stuff from you. And I can give you an even better example. In our business, we help coaches to go from 5,000 euros to 30,000 euros per month. That is our core thing that we do. 95% of the people that we meet haven't done 5K yet. And that is an important note to take. Even though we speak to people doing more than 5,000 euros a month, we still get 19 out of 20 have never made 5,000 euros before. So with that said, we have a different program as well for beginners, for people who wants to get to that 5,000 euros per month level. But we don't market it. We don't talk about it openly. I am now because I'm giving an example. But in our marketing, we're speaking specifically about one specific problem. Individually and privately, it's a different thing. Because why avatar? It's not because you can only help people who have gotten this far, and everyone that hasn't gotten this far, you're not going to offer them anything. That's not what I say. What I say is that you need to have a very specific marketing, because otherwise you're going to shoot blanks. Because people won't hear you, because you're not specific enough. You are not addressing a problem that is consistent, so that when people follow you, they understand what you're all about. So you need to be consistent about what it is you speak of, what problems it is that you solve, what solutions you bring to the table, so that you can start building a following. People following the journey of what does it mean to become or to do or to have what you help your clients to get.
So when we're looking into what is the reason that you are attracting the wrong people, it is in your language.
Yes.
You're speaking to the wrong level of person, because you probably unconsciously know, I want to have this level of people on the ladder, but I keep speaking to these people. If you want to have a certain level of people, you need to understand their language patterns.
Yeah.
If you speak to a lower level, you'll not get a higher level.
Yes, super important. Just want to pause because it's so important.
Yeah.
If I were to speak to beginner coaches, then I would never have anyone that makes money in their coaching business to follow me.
Yeah. So if you want to understand the two lower levels, the bottom and the slipping level, those are people at a stage in their life within every niche and within what you're doing. Those are people who are currently looking or more driven by away from values. They want to avoid. They want to avoid needing to go to a job. They want to avoid needing to going bankrupt. They want to avoid getting a divorce.
Like
they want to
emotions.
they want to avoid go burn out with stress or something. They want to avoid something because they're so close to the pain that they really are looking for the avoid language. If you're going for people who are stable and leaders within what you're talking to, these people are not in an immediate danger, which means they're looking more towards pulling, which means towards values, what they want, like the goal they want, the thing they want. So depending on what level we're speaking to, we need to speak either away from language or towards language.
Yeah.
That's step number one. We need to understand the level and the language. We also need to understand the words we're using. An example we saw from one of our clients is that she's a life coach and she helps people who are stuck. Yeah. And she had the problem that everyone who came to her was just broke, without a job. That's literally where they were stuck. They were without a job and just mentally burned out. We realized that her language was a very caring, taking care of people, like very soft and I understand it's hard when you feel like that. And it's really pampering language in her, because that was natural to her to speak a very pampering.
Caring and comforting.
But who is it that you're attracting speaking like that? You're always comforting. You're attracting people who look for anyone.
Who needs a hug.
Yeah, who needs a hug. Someone who can pamper me. Yeah. But the problem she had was her clients, first of all, always the same story. I don't have money. I don't have a job. But also the second thing, those clients she had that was in that avatar, they were all like, yeah, but I can't do it right now. They weren't really doing the work. They were having excuses all the time for not moving. And she was so frustrated about that. But it was about her language. You get the people you attract. You get the people you speak to. You don't have the wrong people. You have the people you attract. So she needed to change her language, which meant she started talking to people who were in job and only using examples from what it would look like in situations where they were at in their life. And she was not speaking in a pampering way, but an inspiring way, or like a stop wasting time doing this and stop, like a little harsher. Then she started to attract people who didn't want it to be pampered, but just wanted to have the tools and the support and the next steps. It's about your language.
Everything about marketing is about mastering language.
Yes.
And everything about business is to master numbers. So we've given you a lot already on how to kind of start the deep dive into, okay, so who's my avatar? So if you want to save yourself 12 months of trial and error in your marketing, then just use our GPT. And then how do you get it? Go to our Instagram and write us a DM and just write avatar. If you write avatar in a DM to us, we'll send it to you free of charge, nothing attached. And you'll be able to flush out your own avatar and start making more money faster in your coaching business. And if you've loved this episode, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll meet you in a new episode very soon again.
See you soon.